is Lady Myya. Hello, you guys. We are here with another podcast. Okay, so this is what's happening. I got Miss Tandra on, and now mind you, let me tell you what she did to her system. Don't be mad, y'all. But when I met her, we were supposed to talk, but I'm thinking we gonna interview each other. Yeah, that didn't happen. But we chewed the fat, y'all, and it was something real. And I was just like, man, I should have recorded that thing right there. But we had so much fun and we got along so well when we did it. And I was just like, all right, I'll just count down my days till I get it. And I was like, yo, you didn't do this yet. Like, what are we going to do? And she was just like, I got you. And so we made the appointment and here we are. Woo-hoo!
Yes, I'm excited.
So we're going to have a blast, okay? So I'm going to say this. Her name is Tandra Price, okay? And so she does have a business called Kinetic. And she is, you guys, look, I'll try to tell you, she is the bomb. Anytime you a networking ninja, I'm just saying, I want to be that. I want to be that so badly, but I thank her so much for joining me and my Mayan tribe. Mayan tribe, please say hello to Tandra Price.
Hello, everyone. How are you today? Or this evening, afternoon?
Evening, afternoon, whatever is happening. Just let it happen.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I think you have such a wonderful brain. Ooh, I love picking it though. You know, like I remember our conversation and we were talking about networking and different things like that, really getting to know people and what people are actually looking for. And I think that is super important because, you know, my Mayan tribe, we like to look for stuff and we like to find that diamond in the rough. Yeah. So, you know, we need to find out, you know, what everybody is doing, what can help us, you know, what little tidbits we can take from that and better ourselves as well. And I think that is an excellent thing to take away from. But can you tell us more about your business, dear heart?
Yes. Again, like I said, I am so excited to be here. I actually created Kinetic from some networking groups that I actually was doing like all over. As of today, currently, I have about 8 networking groups. I have one in Atlanta, Texas, Wichita, Oklahoma. I have one in Mexico, Hawaii, Kansas City, and I think I'm missing one more. But I created all these networking groups across, you know, for women to connect globally. And so it kind of started out with my business with Kinetic, because one of the things is I want to make sure that I plug you into the power of networking. People think networking is just, you know, going to different networking events. But no, honey, let me tell you, networking is totally different. It has so many different layers to it. It's like a ninja, like you're cutting it up because you have to make sure that you have your systems in place, and systems in place requires you to be plugged into the power of networking. I've been putting these particular platforms together for, I don't know, maybe 15 years or so, starting from women empowerment events to now doing multiple networking events, speaking on different platforms. And yeah, it's been pretty amazing. I've been able to impact women globally.
Wow. See, and I think that is on point with you know, the things that we are definitely, I think you are a lot more interesting when you have, you know, or can reach those type peoples, because that's a lot of different, you know, everybody has that different upbringings and, you know, mindsets and different things like that. And we all grew up differently, y'all. So you can't fault us. You can't fault us for how we think or anything like that. You just got to understand that, okay, they come from this background and this is why they think the way they think. Yeah. So I think that is really, really interesting. So what are you finding that is, you know, being called unto you, dear heart?
You know what, really right now, since this COVID happened, it's like 2020, everybody had kind of set their goals. Everything was working very well. And then boom, we got hit with the COVID. And a lot of, I'm going to say my clients and a lot of people that, I coach as well, couldn't really understand how to get the mind shift and be able to pivot their business to go virtually. However, I was already going virtually with my groups, but now, it's just been a whole new different outlook. People have really had to pivot their business and shift to the virtual aspect. Now, along with being shifted to the virtual aspect, a lot of different things have came into play because some people wasn't ever technology savvy on how to do it. Now you have like StreamYard, you have, Zoom and all these different things. But the most important thing is that we all have to have customers. All have to have customers, no matter what kind of business you're in, you have to have customers. And now that it's virtually, now you have to really seek, how do I find these people virtually? How do I brand myself? How do I really get social media marketing ready for me in my business? So that's kind of what I find a lot of situations in with my clients and the prospective people that come into our group.
I think that is amazing. I can't wait to see what you're doing because Lord knows, it's like it's so different to network in, like you said, like in this pandemic. It is. I think it's easier, if anything, because you have so many different people. Like, if not in this place, if not in that place, and like you have so many other people that you can actually go towards, or you can even ask the person that's in that group. What other groups are you, interested in?
For sure.
Yes, but I think that is an amazing thing.
But here's the thing about it is, if you really don't know how to really use social media, here's the thing about it is we can still shake hands virtually. Traditionally, networking was always where you had to go in and, oh my God, I hate this. I don't want to do it. I'm an introvert. I don't want to talk to people. But here's the thing about it is, shaking hands virtually you're right, it's even better. But here's the thing about it is you have more opportunity because, look, I did a study of research, like I mentioned to you about that there was like 550,000 people every 60 seconds that is on social media. So here's the good thing about it, being networking virtually, is that your audience is already there. There's people waiting to talk to you. To adversely, at first when you went into an online event, there was just that group of people there. Now you have a huge audience to actually talk to. Now we just have to figure out, how do I get their attention? How do I get them to look at what I'm doing? And then that's where I come in, I guess, as your networking ninja to really help you how to build and develop relationships and communicate effectively on your social media platform. So that's one thing that a lot of people really kind of struggle with, because what do I say? I'm posting something, I'm not getting any response. What do I do? So we take you through the steps of those, because believe it or not, there is steps. There's steps to do it and there's process to do it. People think you can just go in there and post it. Listen, if you're not getting no conversation back on your post, and guess what? You're just displaying.
That's true.
So listen to what I say, you're just displaying, because the whole purpose is when you have your business and you have that many people on social media, and for every 60 seconds, how many people are posting, you have the audience right at the palm of your hands. It's really now time to start being a creator and not being a producer. It's actually now for you the time to be able to dominate the market that you're in, because now you can set yourself apart differently from those who are, I don't want to say competition, but you can now set yourself apart differently. What are you going to do differently that makes yourself stand out? And that's where we come into play.
Right. And I think that is really, really a good thing, because, a lot of people try to copy what other people are doing. And it's just like, but you could have something like a gold mine. You could be sitting on that thing. And here you are, you're allowing someone else to lead you to somewhere that you may not even go well. And then they're like, oh, she's just a copycat, and now you look crazy.
Well, here's the thing about it is relationship building. And that's one thing that we kind of stay away from. Even when we were going to networking, locally, it's the relationship that we're building. Here's the thing about it is you go into to a networking event and you think you're passing out all these business cards. No, do not pass out a business card, because that's not really how you're really wanting to connect with people. I always say I have a blueprint of how you go into a networking event virtually or locally. You know, you do that 30-second panoramic view when you get in there, because it's not everybody who you're trying to talk to. The key is you're trying to be the resource. Okay, listen to me. You're trying to be the resource. You're not really looking for yourself, but you're looking, how do I get all these resources up under one umbrella that I can be so effective to my clients that I don't stop shop? But how do you do? You actually have to go in there. You have to connect and get those particular resources. So just to think, like if you're a realtor, you know, and you need some different resources, you know, now they got a house. Now they may be looking for some secure financing. They may be looking for, you know, decorations or something like that. And by you building that umbrella of resources, guess what? They're going to remember you. That's how you're standing out. They're going to remember who you are. That's how you're branding yourself, because now you're becoming different. It's not just about the sale. It goes deeper than the sale.
Yes.
You might just have to stop me.
I'll be like, hey, what about the book? What about the book? What are you going to talk about?
Yes. But it really is about, nowadays, I think a lot of people, what I've found is that everyone is trying to be in such competition. Listen, we need to start being collaborators. We need to start being collaborators. It's not about a competition, because what's for you is going to be for you. Nobody's going to take that. You know, somebody may like what I do versus what you do, or they may like what you do versus what I do. But everybody's going to have their own unique audience. They're going to have their own unique ideal client. So don't go into seeing, you know, being, oh, you know what, I'm not going to share my idea with you because you're going to take it. No, honey, because guess what? No one can develop that idea the way that you can develop it. No one's going to bring it and put the heart into it like you are. So we need to start being collaborators. One of the things that I talk about all the time is about being joint ventures. And one of the things you need to have, now, believe it or not, every networking system has an ecosystem. And I always tell people, what do you need to have in that ecosystem? And I try to help encourage you to put those particular things in your ecosystem. And one of those things is having a buddy entrepreneur. So, I mean, we have to have these particular things in order to be effective in what we're doing. I mean, we have to show that we're the expert in what we're doing. And how do we do that? Is we do it through making multiple systems and making our ecosystem be more effective for us when we're actually helping our clients.
Yes. Now tell us about the book.
Look, you can give me a mic and I just keep talking.
I know. I'm like, okay, here you go. What is going on with this book? Tell us.
So I created a book called Get on the List. And it's really for anybody. It does say network marketers, but it's really for anyone who's trying to build a prospecting list. We all have to have a list. Okay, so that's why I hate I put network marketers on it, but we all have to have a list. And it helps you to be able to build an effective and qualifying list where you can get hundreds of leads in a right way. Because here's the thing about it is, no matter what business you go in, some people say, oh, go to your warm market, go to your warm market. Okay, depending on how big your warm market is, you may be out of your warm market probably within the first week. Now, what do we do? So this is where the book is designed to give you step-by-step instructions on how to actually build an effective qualifying list and where to go to actually look at leads. A lot of people don't really understand where to look at leads. It's more than just Facebook. I'm telling you, it's more than Facebook and Instagram where you can find leads. So this actually helps you develop that list so you'll be ready for now and moving forward into 2021 or even 2022. It is the perfect get on the list resource.
Yes. Woohoo. Okay. All right. So I see that. And so, you know, I just want to have a conversation with you. You know how I need to.
Let's have a conversation.
Okay. So when you started this thing, what did you see that you felt that was needed? You know?
When I started it, it was like, I am a network avid. And maybe that's why I got the name Networking Engine. But I'm a network avid. So I would go to tons and tons of networking events. And what would happen was, you know, people would not have a system in place. That was the first thing. You didn't have a system in place. And then people would be like, I have all these business cards. What do I do? What do I say? Or when they were going to networking events, they were seeing very cliquish when you went to these particular events. You know, how do I break into the good old club, or how do I break into the good old circle? And that's what really inspired me to actually do this, because I started having people follow along with me. And they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you got a hold of this person. Oh, I can't believe they gave you your information, because I was showing them a different way of how to network. If you network in an effective way, I mean, you can, it's really money in the bank. It's cash. I always say ching ching if you can network correctly. But that's kind of what really inspired me. So as I was going along and I was actually coaching other people, I was like, I would ask them particular questions. Like one of the questions I asked, is why? Why are you doing what you're doing? And a lot of people were copying off of other people's why. And I was like, well, that's somebody else's why. What's your why? What's inspiring you? And so I started giving examples of what your why should look like. I mean, people didn't really understand that. And there's tons of books out there, resources that you can read, but some of the language was still kind of foreign to people.
Yeah.
What is your why are you what you're doing? Then I started just breaking it down. And then I was like, oh my God, and I just started getting people coming to me. And then as I was building my communities, people was like, no, Tandra, I need some one-on-one time with you. I really need for you to sit down and help me with this program. That's how I ended up creating my WIN membership program. It's Women in Networking, Gaining More Wins. And I break it down from your avatar all the way down to your social media. I give them opportunities to do speaking engagements. They have accountability partners. You get me as a coach. And we go through some phenomenal things each and every week. We go through some amazing steps that help you make your business scalable. But that's really how it all started. It started because I started going to all these events. People were following me. They were trying to get the information. And I said, listen, I'm sitting on a gift that somebody else needs. So why don't I be able to share that gift with them and show them how they can do it so their business can win? Because I really, truly believe once one of us win, all of us win. I think once we help other people, that just makes us even more effective for our clients. So that's really kind of how it all got started. And I called it You Kinetic because I wanted to play on words, because it's you connect, you net it. You see?
You connect it. I love it. I love it.
Into the power of networking. So
right. And that's what
networking has so many different layers that it's just not going to meetings. Networking is a whole lot of different layers.
It is. We need it though. We need it. We all need it. And
a lot of us think we don't need it, but people say like, I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to do this, honey. Every time you open up your mouth, you is selling and talking.
Yes, you are.
You are doing the things that you say you don't want to do.
I don't understand why people say that they can't sell or they don't like selling. First off, I feel like this, and being a salesperson, I look at it like this. You don't have to necessarily sell the product, but if you can sell yourself first, then there's more of a gauge on this thing that you're trying to push. Because it's like, usually, okay, I'll say this. Sister Sledge used to sell cars. Yes, I was a car salesman. Okay. And so they didn't buy the car just because it was a car. They bought the car because I had my kids at the showroom. I was like, let's go out to eat. Can you take the car? Here are the keys. Let's go get some food. Just don't spill it. They bought it because of who I was and how comfortable they were with, the fact that, okay, you know what? Yeah, no, I can see myself, bringing my family down and getting them from the airport to home and, having a good time while we in the car. Like, you just got to get that memory and get that good feeling in that car. You good to go. I had nothing to do with this. Sign here. That's all I need.
This is what I tell people all the time. The minute you get a compliment, you become a salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
Now listen to that. The minute you get a compliment on something that you have or something you're doing, you now become a salesperson. You know why? Because again, you do two things you don't want to do: sell and talk, right? Nope. So here's the thing about it: is they give you a compliment, you be like, oh, this whole thing, or oh, this, that. Oh, I got this at such and such girl. They was having a sale. Now, what are you doing right now?
It's sold.
They be like, really? Yeah, girl, December the 1st, what is it, January the 1st, dealers how they make or sell all the time. So guess what? You didn't sell it. And guess what? You didn't get no money off of none of that stuff that people said to you.
Okay.
You spent all the money.
Yep.
You turn around and say, well, I ain't good at sales. I'm not this, that, and the other. Yes, you are, because you did the main two things you didn't want to do: sell and talk.
Show and talk. That's all you got to do. That's all sales is anyway. Show and talk.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how decent this phone works. This phone is awesome. This thing, all you got to do is, I'm telling you, you should get that thing.
Apple didn't pay you no money to sit there and show your friend how that worked. But then they went out and but they went out and got an Apple product probably a couple of days or a week later.
Because of you. Exactly. So you talk about you can't sell. No, I understand that completely. I love that. So like, okay, what are you saying to those people that, they'd say, oh, well, I just, want to be that introvert. I don't really want to talk to people and different things. Because I do know that I've come across a few people that don't necessarily want to speak to people they don't know. Now, what I said, and I'm pretty sure you probably said something way, way classier than I did, because you know how sisters, yeah. So what I said is, that's just a friend you ain't met yet. What is you talking about? You didn't even say nothing. You can't make new friends not saying nothing. I mean, you can, but you gotta gauge that friend. What do you think?
Well, you know what? I just said you can't sell business to a closed mouth. That's what I say. You can't sell business to a closed mouth. If you decide that you don't want to speak, and here's the thing, I try to take that out because every morning you wake up, somebody is hearing something that you're saying. I don't care. It could be your kids or whatever, or it could be you went to the gas station, you had to pump, or you are physically talking. So I want people to get that out of their mind. I don't want to talk to nobody, because you talk to people every day, no matter what. But it's like, if you have a business and you want your business to be successful, it's not going to sell by itself. It's not going to sell by yourself. You have to make the initiative to talk. If you're afraid to go to a network event, there you go. Where's your buddy entrepreneur? That buddy entrepreneur can go with you to help you kind of navigate the crowd.
Right. And I think that's important. Get you a buddy. Somebody else will talk for you. You know how it's funny, because when you get the group and there's always that loud person. Oh, get that person. Go with you. Look, you need to tell them about this XYZ and make them see this is what it looks like.
Let me tell you, that's all I want to do. In my networking group. And this is why it is so important for you to surround yourself around the right group of people. You have to get your sister circle together. You have to be in one. I have a lady that's in my networking group. I'm telling you, she tells me all the time, Tandra, I hate talking to people. I'm not a people person. I hate talking to people. She became a part of my WIN program. And guess what? She's talking to everybody on the moon. Because she surrounded herself. It's really kind of almost like a little bit of lack of confidence in when you're doing it. But the more you do it, the more you put yourself around people, then it just starts coming out naturally. I mean, you don't even know that you're talking. You don't even know that you're selling, because now you have been conditioned around the people that surrounded you, because they're pushing you to make your business known. You have something that someone is waiting for. You have to get out and you have to tell the people about it.
Exactly. I have to talk to at least 6 people before I walk out of Walmart. So, I just can't shut up.
You're going to talk to somebody. Somebody's going to run into you, talk to you. Somebody's going to say something to you.
Always. I'm like, what's up? What's going on? And then I see you last week. I saw you last week. Did you get that thing?
And don't let it be some, you go to one of those Walmarts and all, the whole neighborhood just about know you.
They know me. Yeah.
Yeah.
They be like, Lady Myya? That's her right there. I'm like, I don't know who that is. You will. Wait till she gets you cornered.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I think it's amazing because when you can have fun with it, I think more people we get able to kind of take off those layers and different things like that, because I think that's the hardest part, because I was petrified when I became a salesperson. I was like, I'm not trying to do this. Who doing this for me? I need a face man. I can make it sound good.
You know what? Normally, just think, most sales jobs, they give you a script. You go through the sales orientation portion of it. They give you a script, and if you don't make that script personal to you, then it's always going to be awkward. It's always
That's why
going
I
to
got
be
hired for those jobs.
actually try to go and hit all the points. But if you make that bad boy your own, then you're going to get bad to the bone. You will be bad to the bone.
You know what? What I kept doing was ad-libbing, and this is why I kept getting fired for those jobs. I was like, no, that didn't sound right. No, you know what? Let's do this again. Hello, I'm Myya. And they were like, well, what happened? I'm like, look at here. First off, I messed up. Make sure you know. They was like, you're not supposed to say stuff like that. I'm like, look, it was the truth.
Yeah.
But we
you
all
have to
had
make it your own. You have to make that, you know what? And I try not to say scripts, but whatever it is, you have to make it your own, because you're going to be a good salesperson if you're confident in what you're saying.
Yeah, no,
and
for sure.
Don't even try to be script. Don't try to be script. Just have an organic conversation like we're having. Just have an organic conversation.
Right. No.
It will flow so much better.
Especially if it's your business, why you can't have an organic conversation. Tell the people why you doing what you do. And like you said, the why. I think that's really, really important, because, you know, then you can come back to the why. Now it really kind of gravitates with that person, because it's like, oh no, I can understand. I can understand why you would want to do that, or why you're doing this, or what have you. And then they look at you differently, as opposed to, well, I just want $1 billion and blah, 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 blah. And no, that's not real.
A lot of people come with the punchline. So I did a thing called the punchline. Everyone is so eager to hit you with that punchline. You know, they're ready to throw the business out to you. Well, guess what? I don't know what your story is. Stories sell. People think I don't have time for that story. Make that story short. Make people understand. But you cannot hit people with the punchline of your business right off the bat, because that is such a turn off. People be like, I don't know you. I mean, I don't even know where you came from. I don't know, who referred you to me. Because I have to think back, people say, oh, such and such referred me to you. And if they don't know them personally and have a real good connection already, then you hit them with that punchline. No, the punchline is at the end. Right.
Exactly. No, I hear you on that one. Definitely get to know who your person is, and just, if you gauge them right, it's easier than trying to just throw stuff on people, and then they like, well, why? And what makes you think I need this? And you got to get
the thing about it is they run away from you, because now they see you and they be like, oh my God, that's like, she's trying to sell me that oil. No, she's trying to sell me that makeup. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, you know what, let your beauty show out so people can say, dang, what you on? Girl, that's super cute. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, that's the best way to do it.
It is.
Be a product of your product. If you have something to sell, be a product of your product. People start talking to you about your product, put that passion in, like, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right.
You want to come along with me.
Yes. I love that. See, this is what we need, y'all. Okay. So what I want my people to know what type of, I guess you could say, like, what would you like to say to them? Like advice, you have.
Well, you know what? My biggest advice is always building relationships. My advice is for you to, if you want to go fast, you get you a coach. I feel like none of us should be doing this by ourselves. There's too many expertise out here for us to get the information that we need. Guess what? If you're an entrepreneur, you need the information. Yes. Do not stay away from it. Be a student. Be able to come into the fold and be able to want to learn. You are the expert of what you're doing, and you have to be able to display that. And it's going to require you to have coaches. It's going to require you to have these people in your ecosystem. It's going to require you to be able to go through the systems. Do not shortchange it. Do not shortchange it. Please don't. Because each time you go through something and you don't go through the proper steps and you feel like you failed or it didn't work, it's because you didn't go through the proper steps.
That's true.
And remember that even when you have a job, we all have to go through some type of training. And this is your training. Invest in yourself. Because you want people to invest in you. So you have to invest in yourself. in order to be the expert that you want people to be able to gravitate to you. And I just say the huge thing is learn how to build relationships. I mean, that's one of the things that we do. We help you to learn how to build those effective and qualifying relationships. And we help you with some of the systems that you need. I mean, you would be amazed at people that don't even have a calendar link in order to make a schedule. Like, how do people get in contact with you? What's your drip campaign? I mean, like when you talk to people, do you just say, oh, they weren't interested in my business and you walk away? No, because guess what? It's all about timing as well. It may not have been a perfect timing right then for them to purchase your product, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be your customer later. No. So you have to have some stuff in place in order to keep following up with them. I'm not saying be a salesy person or be, an annoying person, but, if you have a correct CRM, then guess what? You won't have to do all of that. You can do an income producing activity. So, I mean, I can say a whole lot. But one of the things I say, and understand your why. I think right now, you need some examples. Let me show you some examples of what that why means. Because people say they sit down. I can't stress this enough. So some entrepreneurs' business goals start for 2021 start at the beginning of January 2020. And then people just kind of phase it down. Most entrepreneurs, they wait to see what happens at the year. And then come December, like we all do, I know if you're guilty, sometimes I start setting my health goals at the end of the year, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. But I failed to do it at the beginning or during the mid-year. So I'm saying to you right now, it's going to be goal time. And when you sit down and set your goals, do not just sit down and write stuff on a piece of paper. Have a strategic thought processes and go bigger. I can't say this, BIGGER, go bigger. 2021, set it down, sit down. If you need some examples of what a why look like, let's hook me up. Look, she's going to give you all the information to hook me up. I will give you that on a free so you can walk out and see what a why looks like. It's time for us to start dominating in the industry, and it starts with you. So, I mean, I can say a whole lot, but I'm going to leave it at that.
She like, I give you this. No, I know, but you know what? It's so much that people, we fail to realize, until somebody, kind of gives us just a little taste. They give us that little taste. She be like, yeah, by the way, let me ask you this one question followed by 14 more. Okay. But I think you have like such a tenacity and passion for doing this. And I think it's just an awesome situation because like networking is my jam, girl. I'm trying to told you, like, I love networking. I'll be like, let's do it. Where you at? Come on, bring it over. And they be like, how you just can talk to anybody? I said, why not? And what they gonna do to me? Nothing. They're going to look at me like I'm crazy and be like, she touched. Yes, she is. I might agree with you and tell you why. I think it's important for us to definitely take these lessons and take, her talk in because we want the best for you. And this is why I do what I do is because I feel like that you know dang well that you want to do something different. And here it is. She's doing something different. Okay. She is bringing help for your business. See, before I would show you, look, you can do this too. See, the person did it. Yeah. But at the same time, she said, you know what? When you do make up the idea or you make up the decision to do it, I can also help you along the way. And I love that because, there's a lot of people that just be like, well, you can just make this appointment and I'll see you in 2 months. He's sitting there like, well, what I'm doing?
No, that's so true. Or look, they hit you with a $8.99 program. Look, $8.99 program, $899 program. And then you know what? And then I'll give you the steps to walk through. But no, I mean, it's about building that, that know, like, and trust.
Exactly. And see, here she is, all nice and shiny and, just ready. We're going to put a bow on her. There you go. So thank you so much. I believe that everyone has something, and for, it takes someone like you to just kind of show them, okay, if that didn't work, try this. And then once you get a little bit further, try this. So now you have more options readily available to you, and she can talk you through and just, you know, she'll dust you off and send you right back on out there. Like, there you go, you got this. Do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. And the more you do it again, the better you're gonna be. So I think it is so important for us to always have that type mindset, you know that we can do it. It's the year 2021. Let's do this. What are we doing? Nothing. Not doing that. We need to do something else, you guys. But I appreciate Miss Tandra. She is so absolutely on point every time I talk to her, and I love talking to her. And I hope you will too, because like if you get in contact with her, she's going to give me more conversation, more stuff to have, you know, to put down there for you guys. You know, she has so many links. So many. Okay, but I will put them all in there for you guys.
Thank you so much.
Like all of them, yes. But you know, she got this, and you got this. So we believe in you. Hopefully, you believe in yourself. And when you do, call us. Help us. Call us. Look, call her first, and I'll be like, look, call me. What happened?
Listen, I got something for you.
Like, call me, let me know what happened. Oh my goodness. But I think this is a time for us. You know, we can play around now, but we can know we can go to work now. You know, we can go to work. So I believe in you, and I hope you believe in yourself. Thank you so much for joining me, Living Your Best Life with Lady Myya. And so, listen, I'm part of Calendar. I have Patreon. I'm not calendared yet. You was talking about me. I'm on Patreon, you guys. Please, please, please. Every little bit helps. Got some cutie little stickers, and I got some cutie little mugs. And hey, y'all, you know, it's still kind of cold. Sweatshirts, anyone? I'm just saying. But every little bit helps. You know, have so much in the pipeline coming down, and I only hope that you guys can be a part of it. And I love you dearly. I do. And so if you want to be on any of the shows, please contact me via my email. That is the number one, ladymyya@gmail.com. And that's MYYA. And you know why? Because your home girl is special. And I will talk to you guys later.